Why hello everyone and welcome to the stream. This is Otaku Showboat joined by Dolly behind my head, looking out the door at a noise that happened out there. Got her ears pointed in that direction, in that general direction. Ollie's also here. Hi big boy. Sitting next to me on the floor, looking. Are you gonna go up? Are you gonna go up top? Where are you gonna go? So I got the babies. I got the babies today. They're here. They're pretty. Yes, my pretty girl. With her tail. How are things? Today is, of course, Thursday, September 28th, 2023. I have Ollie. Ollie has joined me up on the desk. Yes, Mr. Cat. Mr. Cat, what's your problem? Oh, you want Nuzzles. He wants Nuzzles. He's on the desk. He's laying down on my keyboard. Next to the keyboard. Wants his pets too. Yes, why do we want pets at the same time, right when I'm starting my stream, huh? Why do the kitties want their pets when I'm starting the stream, huh? Speaking of which, gotta turn that camera on. There it goes. It's on. It's on, and there's Dolly. She's comfy now. She's settled. My mic moved on me. There we go. We're better now. Oh boy. So I did a few things in the game in Factorio since we last met. I think I just need to go straight into it today. Oh boy. Last time we met, I set up what? Latex. That was the main thing to get into last time. We got Vrauk and we got Latex on the train network. Mr. Cat is in my way. He is in the way. You can see Mr. Cat here, head distinctly right over top of WASD on my keyboard. He's right over top my keys. Hey big boy, yes, you want your pets. You want the pets. You like your face wubs. You like the face wubs. Yes, face and neck wubbies. Face and neck wubbies. Yes, baby. Pretty boy. You're the pretty boy. You're gonna want to try to use my hand as a pillow from that spot, but I keep moving my keyboard over. Oh yeah, I got this stuff. The breathe blend of essential oils. It has eucalyptus, menthol, eucalyptus peppermint, tea tree oil, Scots pine needle oil, lemon peel oil, cardamom seed oil, and bay leaf oil. And Cat does not approve of the scent. He does not approve of the scent of the thing. No. It's closed, so of course it doesn't really have that much. It's sort of there, a little bit, but he does not really approve. If I take the cap it started with, because the dropper tool's separate, I have the cap that's separate. He smelled that before, and it made him gag, but I think it's weaker now. Yeah, you're okay with it now? Yeah, it weakened, so... it's the eucalyptus, I think, primarily. They don't like eucalyptus scent. Makes him gag. If he smells the eucalyptus in particular. But I have a diffuser going next to me with all the breathe oils, and yet they're here. Like, this is supposed to be highly annoying to cats. Every single one of these ingredients is, like, not good with cats, and yet these two don't care. These two don't seem to care about the smellies in the air. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take being able to breathe and not having my sinuses congested. That was the whole point, and it does work. It does work once it got into the air, both yesterday and today. My sinuses have cleared up a lot faster than they usually do. Usually I'd be waiting quite a while for them to naturally clear, but yeah, we have nice clear-ish, mostly sinuses. So I've done a few things. I've done a few things in the base since we last met. When we last met, I set up the latex, I set up Vrauk cocoons, and like Vrauk slaughtering. Did all that stuff. In between streams, yeah, where to even start with this? I added a mod. You'd probably tell that there's some shenanigans going on here. I added the Clear Skies of Peace mod. As opposed to Fog of War, it's the Clear Skies of Peace. The opposite of Fog of War. Now, what this mod does, I've got a little toggle here. It will reveal, as I turn it off, then we just get our normal radar coverage here. It toggles vision of the map. It has two settings. I have it set to the better performing setting, but also the setting that I am far more interested in, which is it reveals every single spawned chunk on the map. It gives you complete vision of every spawned chunk on the map. I need you to shift just a little bit, Ollie. Just a little bit, Mr. Cat, yes. Just a little bit. So it spawns every single, or it shows every single spawned chunk on the map, which I did this specifically so that I could place more landfill. And that is what I have done. I have placed a few million units of landfill down, so we have some more space to work with. And I can do it quickly and remotely from the map view. Just scroll the map from here and I can place large amounts of landfill very quickly without having to physically go to those locations. Now, if I need to continue to expand my buildable area, I will need to go out and actually build the rails. I need to actually build the rails. The rails have a whole bunch of radars on them. They all have radars on them, so that would be a passive way of generating new chunks. If for whatever reason I were to decide to add construction zone extenders to the entirety of the rail network and have my robots building the rail network themselves, if they did that and were placing radars along the way, well, then the base could more naturally expand, quote unquote naturally. The problem with that is that even if I run the game faster, it will take literal days of running the game in order for them to even come close to building what I have in here, let alone expanding from there. It takes too long. The bots are too slow. Also, the game was, it was less than 100 frames. Hey, he moved. Yay. He's finally moved, and I can actually get more space to work with now. So that's the rail expansion stuff that I wanted to talk about. And as you see, as I went physically and built rail out over here, it revealed more of the map, more empty chunks that I could then go and fill more in. The only unfortunate part is that it doesn't actually quite stretch enough to put my whole square. Just slightly unfortunate that it doesn't stretch enough to put the whole square. I did make a modification to my little blueprint here that is the square to set absolute positioning with grid snapping, and dialing in these numbers was utter hell. But I managed to do it, so now it is seamless. Now it is seamless. I can just like hold shift and just drag my mouse over the land and have the grid blueprints placed. It's absolutely glorious. Okay, and this is the mall. All of this area intentionally left blank as area for the mall. Okay, what else did I do? I added more power, doubled the power. I added more of the tidal power plants for use as main power, so now we're sitting at, oh, you know, up to 5 gigawatts of production. Just 5 gigs of production, using half of it. Using about half of it at the moment. Yeah, this. So I'm pretty sure I said that I would make titanium between streams last time, right? I'm pretty sure at the end of last stream I said I would be working on titanium and getting titanium set up. Yeah, this is the titanium setup. This is the titanium. Specifically, this is the titanium ore, and this is the processing of that ore. Yeah, that's it. I need a few Yadel plantations, or Yadel cultures. I need just a few of them. Yadel cultures are my favorite of the buildings in Pi for their colors. I like these colors. So yeah, I have over 800 of them over here that, and I happen to need like a bunch more. I have like close to 100 on me to go and add more, but as it turns out, what I currently have is, you know, it's enough for enough plates for the base in its current state, so whatever. It just so as we can get some numbers here, it makes yeah, this build actually ends up making more than 75 titanium ore. It was planned to be able to do 15 plates, so it makes like 78.2 ore. So a little more than 5 yellow belts, or 1 stacked belt, little more than 1 stacked belt, if I could provide the tar, the 1,000 tar to it at all times. You know, that little caveat, if I could provide it with enough tar, it would make that much, and if I had enough, all the buildings to build it. The main issue of Yadel cultures is that they need 100 basic circuits, 100 circuits each. $100 circuits each, and 200 concrete each. That's the slightest of slight issues with the Yadel cultures. I would need a few ingredients, a few materials to build them. I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna place these. The other issue is the perpetual issue that has never been fixed with nanobots specifically. These buildings need Yadels as a module. The recipe for these buildings consumes Yadels. So, nanobots, in its infinite wisdom, uses a method when placing the building that when it tries to add the module request, ends up putting the things in the ingredient slot rather than the module slot. It puts the requested modules into the ingredient slot instead of the module slots. Which, yeah, that doesn't help me at all. That's very, very counter to my needs. So this entire thing needs to be built by robots. Note that this game speed is 2x right now, approximately, and that's the speed of these bots. Yeah, when I'm not streaming, it is like over 200 frames at the moment, but streaming does approximately cut it in half. Why? Because Streamlabs is open, and for whatever reason, having the streaming software open, not even running, just open, cuts my game performance in like half. It's the weirdest thing. But hey, at least I have no shortage of modules for Yadles. At least I have no shortage, and this is exactly why I built this between streams. Because trying to do this on stream would have been actual literal hell. Fundamentally tedious and boring to experience building the entire thing, designing the entire thing as well. Especially since I had to redo this whole thing. Yeah, I got the spacing wrong initially and had copied the whole set, all like over 800 building placements, all to figure out, oh yeah, this does have an ingredient in and not just a thing out, so I need to do this spacing so that I could actually get things put in. Okay, good, we're done. We done. Yeah, and the enriched biomass doesn't stack. That's another thing. So I send all of the lines of the enriched biomass go into a depot and then out from there to the various pulp mills, and then the output from the pulp mills needs to be sorted, the biomass voided, and the pulp mills themselves need 500C steam, which is, you know, convenient, because I have a nice, convenient way of getting 500C steam whenever and wherever I want it. So yeah, that's that. Then the titanium build itself, screen the ore, sort out the grade 2, crush it down to grade 1, get rid of the stone, screen the grade 1 into grade 3 plus rejects, shove the rejects out and about into some secondary crushers. They give you more grade 3, take all that grade 3 and cast it. There's no molten casting availability at this phase of the game. We have to get a bit further along in science before we are allowed to have molten titanium. But this will make, like, whatever, 14 point something. It uses a belt of compressed ore to make however much titanium that is. It's a little less than 15, like 14 point something. Microphone? You need to stop moving on me. You need to stop moving. I was pretty sure all the thingies were tightened, but whatever. Okay, what else did I do that I need to talk about today? I added additional tar. I previously had 2 units making tar. Now I have the full line of 7, so I had 5. I did initially copy paste the whole thing to put next to it, but yeah, it's a lot of infrastructure, and I need to scale other things before I can really do this. It would take a long time to actually build all of the buildings for it, specifically the these guys. Electrolyzers are a bit of a pain at the moment because these eat labs, and labs need transport belts, and transport belts need rubber. Which is my limiting factor now. Rubber is the biggest limiting factor of the base at the moment. This line is the rubber line, and it does not have a damn thing running down it. There's one, but it all preferentially goes up to here for science. Yeah, so anything down the line that needs rubber isn't getting it. And since I am, well, I need to bring in the latex. That's what I think I really just need to do, because that'll help with my science as well. Because, yeah, this is limited by the stoppers, which is limited by the latex. Goodbye, Dolly. Jumping down. Alright, so as I'm talking, my sinuses are like, oh hey, you know how we were cleared up by the breathe thing? Yeah, not anymore. Diffuser. Diffuser must be closer to my nose. Help me breathe, please. I need to breathe more clarity. Sinuses need to clear. That actually did work. That actually did work. I feel it doing stuff. Okay. What else to talk about before we get into actually building things? Quartz. Glass. Quartz. Glass. 30 quartz per second. 30 for that much space, but it's just power and buildings, pretty much. I see zero reason to get quartz through any other method at this moment in time. I say that knowing that I do have access to atomizing sea sponges. I need to adjust this to be like 1K. I have that. It will be better, but not until I get the sea sponge recipes that are faster. The very basic sea sponge recipes are incredibly slow. I need the better recipes to make it worthwhile for like building savings. And you know, there's this little thing where they sort of need Zogna right now, and Zogna need petri dishes, and I'm not really keen on needing a glass product to make glass. Not particularly keen on that at the moment. I looked that up somewhere or other. Somewhere or other, I had checked that and decided against it. I did this. I did concrete as well between streams. I need to remember where I did that. This little thing known as concrete, I built down here to feed them all. Yeah, because, you know, I had this little building that needs, of which I need several hundred, that requires 200 units of concrete apiece. So I built the concrete down here. It makes 5 per second, just because I didn't really feel like making more and spending the coke on the lime. Knowing full well that there is another recipe that we don't have access to yet that will be better for concrete at scale. This recipe is unlocked at Cellulose Stage 2. This is a far better recipe. I would much rather do this than spend the coke on the lime for this. No, we don't have access to that at this point in time, so I gotta deal with what I got. Okay, I also doubled my iron. That is another thing that I've been working on, is doubling my iron, of which I need to actually go and physically place those last buildings. That was one of the last things I was working on, was getting more iron, because I set up small parts on the train network. This makes like 5? Alt-R. Okay, that's what I set it to. It makes 5. And it eats more than half of my iron to make 5. I really want my productivity modules. I highly desire my productivity modules. I need them. He says building massively scaled things and taking the time to build massively scaled things that could have been spent building at lower scale all of the things needed to get to the productivity modules sooner. I understand that sentiment, but also I don't want to really touch things again, and that's why I tend to build at scale. I want to be done with the thing for as long as possible before having to go back and address the thing. And modules aren't cheap. To be, like, realistic, no, it is not a good idea at all to make a trickle of things just to unlock modules, because you will never be able to build them. Or it will take an ungodly amount of time to even build one of them by the time that you get them if you're trying to rush to them. There's no point in unlocking them if you can't make enough of them. And you need infinite of them. So, may as well have the factory built that can support the production of those modules, so you can then upgrade the production of them further and have infinite of them for all of your needs going forward. That is the plan, ideally. Hopefully, that'll be the thing. Okay, I think I've gone over everything that I did between streams. It only took half an hour. Thank God it's only half an hour and not the full first half of the stream, as I have had in the past. Okay. Today I want to shift gears into circuit stuff directly. I need the rubber though, so I should do the rubber first. And I guess I just will. Do I have all the buildings I need for it? I do have all the buildings that I need for it. But just to quickly go over what I need for the circuits still, since I did technically work on some of the stuff that I need for the circuits between streams. So we need to set up batteries on the network. Batteries, moondrop methane, melamine resin, kick alk, and that's it. Manure as well. Yeah, that's the thing. That would be the most ideal situation, is to do those things. A lot of this stuff will be separate factories. I've pretty much decided that at this point that this time around I'm going to have a completely distributed system for the circuits. Basically, if an intermediate product, or if an intermediate ingredient in circuits is actually used in something else, it will be on the train network. Of which I think, like, vacuum tubes, yeah, they're used in electronics. So we're gonna have pretty much everything separate in this, since basically everything gets reused for electronics. And I don't think that there's a single thing that isn't reused. Yeah. So that's how that'll go. Whole bunches of factories. But I will, in fact, start with this rubber. Now, I did scale my tar. I don't have enough tar for this much production. I need even more tar than what I have currently built. So, yay. Need to double that again. And then I have to think, do I want to put the organic solvent onto the train network? Or just have all of this be the rubber factory? I think all of this will just be the rubber factory, just bring in the tar. Bring in tar, latex, titanium, and be done with it. Now, 2000 or 1950. 1950 steam. Oh god, that's a bit. That's a bit. So each one of these is 300. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. That's 18. So that would be 21. I could trim from there. My goodness. That's a thing. Yeah, that's a thing. I'm a thing. A thing. It shall live there. Oh no, bots, stop. I would be foolish to not provide the 100 coke that this is going to produce as a byproduct to the train network. That would be incredibly dumb to void 100.6 units of coke. I may need to restock on pipes at some point during this build. Yeah, there's a pretty good reason why processing pitch is not generally suggested. And that's just the amount of power it takes to make all the steam that you need for it versus what you get out of it. But hey, it's extra anthracene and extra light oil and a whole ton of coke. Oh, this is the lead rock. Bummer. That hurts a little. Just a bit. Just an itty bitty little bit. That's gonna be really nice. That's gonna be really nice. Only one module for you, but 4 for you. That's gonna be really nice to reduce entity counts in these builds. We also get like more, don't we? We get more steam with higher temperature geothermal water the further that we go. Or is it only the one recipe? Oh, there's pressured steam recipes. Great. All right then. Yeah. That's gonna make the pressured steam. Oh, but that's higher temperature geothermal water, but is the water 3000? Oh, it just comes out at 3000. Okay, well, yeah. Duh. We will get the ability to convert high pressure steam to regular steam. Eventually, there will come a point where you can get high pressured steam into regular steam. I forget where. Ah, right there. Oh, it's only 150. Wow. Okay. Okay. So, what's the point? That's only 250C. There's 500. Alright, yeah, that'll be long term. Simic boilers are a winner. Always. They're always a winner. Where do I even begin with this? Now that's a good question. I guess from the tar input. Three rows of 12. Is this also going to have a whole bunch of creosote? Yes. I should provide the creosote as well. You know, would help if I had all of the pipe. Alright, just weirdness. Spacing. Alright, how many doohickeys? It's 300 each, right? Yeah. I'm gonna put a tank. Feed it with a couple doohickeys. Alright, that should be that. Bonk, 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 bonk. Alright, that feeds all the tar extractors. I can definitely definitely feel my diffuser now. Okay, from here. Oh, I am... I'm gonna unfortunately have to void the excess coke that I will end up with, rather than, like, void pitch. I'd rather void the pitch, but I can't get around this situation. Because I need these outputs of the other stuff. The only time I could void pitch is if I'm backed up on everything, basically. Unless... No, I need this to always move. I need it to always move, because I'm gonna, like, void the excess organic solvent, basically. If I'm backed up on rubber, I will not void the rubber, I will void the organic solvent. That's in excess to keep the rest of it running, and then also void the excess coke, and the rest of it will keep running. And the excess creosote, gasoline, etc., etc., etc. I'm gonna provide these on trains as well. I will just void the extra light oil. I don't really feel like processing all of it. So what are we gonna do after we beat Pi? Oh boy. Yeah, I still need to look into Omni, whether or not it has a startup setting for turning off the water. Or I have to at least look at what the water thing is like, the Omni water to water process. Because if I use it for Pi, Pi needs so much water. I would have to repeat that stupid process. Like, it would have to be copied every single time, however many buildings it is, to get water everywhere I need it. It doesn't matter how bad it is, it's the fact that it would be adding that many entities to, like, practically every single build in the entire base in a mod that's already got problems with too many entities. Like, getting the ores is one thing, but I mean, it's not like I've got infinite performance in my computer for all of the water that would be needed. Like, water is needed in such extreme amounts that the Omni process would need to be, like, really efficient. It would need to be, like, no more than a couple of buildings total to provide the equivalent output of a pump of, like, the full 1200. Like, I really can't have it be more than a few buildings at most. Might be able to live with 3 or 4, but no more than that for a full 1200, because its point of comparison is one building making 1200 water. Anyway. Oh god. How much? Oh boy. Why does it have to be 2? Alright, that's a belt. All this can shift down to there. That's all getting destroyed. So this is 8. 51. Six plus a couple. Come on, game. You can do it. +3. Joy. I know how to get the +3, it's just annoying. Yep, we're doing it this way. La dee dee. Dee da dee do. And that should be 51. There it is. 51. Just add pitch. Okay. 100 is a number that is greater than 75. I just want to point that out. That unfortunately 100 is a number that is greater than 75. That's unfortunate that there's no setting for Omni to just have it still produce regular water. Like, that kills the whole concept, frankly. There's no reason why that shouldn't be a thing. Like, why would you enforce two separate concepts in the same mod like that? No, there's no point. It needs to be part of the regular mod. I'm not gonna mod it out. Wait, never mind. What do you mean, never mind? I mean, I wouldn't use their code anyway. Why would I do that? Alright, Steam. Steamy. Steamy Steam. You need some steam. Oh yeah, it's moving. I forgot. Oh hey, yeah, that's like the point, right? It moves. Is for it to move. Here comes the infinite Coke. In like one of the least efficient ways possible of getting Coke. Because let's be clear, this is this may look somewhat reasonable until you think about how much it takes to get the tar. Until you look at the tar infrastructure. Yeah, this looks fine until you consider how much it took for the tar infrastructure, and you think about, well, if I instead did that to actually do Coke, instead of this, through a different means of getting Coke, through Red Hot Coke, it would end up with a lot more Coke than this. Alright, we're out of pitch, and that's fine. We need to get the anthracene. Oh, you don't. There you go. We need to get creosote out, and we need to get the middle oil out, and we need to get the pitch out. Creosote out is going into a supply station, supplying creosote. Because I actually need more creosote. Provide the creosote. I think that's... No, I'm also going to provide gasoline. Yeah, it does not format. It doesn't respect formatting in YouTube, but I get the code. I understand what it's doing. I'll note that that's specifically looking at offshore pumps and not stone water wells. But I think stone water wells also refer to offshore pumps, so it would... since stone water wells comes later in the load order, that means that this would do its thing first, and therefore it would likely output omnic water. Yeah, that's what I just said. I said that it would make omnic water because it comes later and it refers to offshore pumps, so... It's not necessarily a copy of offshore pumps, I think. I think it's, that it references the data of offshore pumps and copies it from the existing data of offshore pumps, and if that has been modified beforehand, when it loads, and it will load with the contents of offshore pumps, which would be omnic water. Unless it also has a specific compatibility with stone water wells built in which case then, yeah, then it would, as always. Alright, what am I doing? What am I doing? I am taking this creosote. Oops. Creosote. Yes, they are offshore pumps. They're offshore pumps with a different, like, coat of paint, basically. That's what they're coded as. Really? Okay, next 10. Ten of those. Gee, I intended this to be, like, much faster, but oh well. Overflow void. The point is I need this rubber, and then I can get working on other stuff towards actual circuits. Next. The middle oil. This is actually the most complex part of this whole build, is just this aspect. So once I'm done with this, everything falls into place a lot, like, very quickly. Bring up steam. Oh. Steam! Needs more steam! And this also makes light oil, so down it goes, hooking it up. Hooking it up to that guy. And this makes naphthalene and carbolic. Okay. Then we're going to take our 9 DDCs here. Goodness, I dislike you greatly. There we go. Where else is naphthalene? Here. Great. I'm just looking at the anthracene because I know I'll need the anthracene. Fortunately, I'll only need anthracene here, right? So once I've combined all the anthracene together, any excess that I make, that whole 590 anthracene, pretty sure it's only really ever used. Okay, it's used here, right? Great. I should put excess onto trains and then void excess, because I sort of need that. Or just forever spend naphthalene and vanadium on anthraquinone. Because we need infinitude hydrogen peroxide. Or just don't care about it until I need it. And I think that's what I'm going to do. Alright, naphthalene. Carbolic. Should be another thing with carbolic somewhere. Who has carbolic? Oh, nothing? That's it? That's the only thing? Yeah, that's the only thing. It actually makes more than I need of the carbolic, so that gets overflow voided. Yay. Voiding. Power it up. Power it up. This is the whole point of all this. Also combine the anthracene. There's not a single good line for this. There is not a single good line for this. We got there eventually. You there. It's a good thing I've been paying attention to these things instead of this. This is one of those few times that Factory Planner actually gets it right here by telling me the total 1940, which is actually the total of these, and then has the 150C as byproduct, because these do need 250 plus and not 150. It actually just so happened to be correct in how it handled all that. Bring in the titanium! Okay, that's the titanium. I also need the latex. Yellow belts can't jump those tanks, those specific size of tanks. It's rather unfortunate. Reformers! Reform! Also, I need 13 of this. Enjoy your pipe. And this is what eats up the anthracene. Overflow. Void. Enjoy your carbon black. Ta-da! And then 10 of these bad boys. Okay, fluids. Bring on this stuff. And then power to the everything and we'll be done with the rubber. Not quite. Not quite. Now we have to deal with this stuff known as coke. Up to 100 per second of the stuff. So while... Oh, what? Huh? Eh? Oh. Enjoy. That was the whole point of you. And the rubber is rubbering. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. That's unfortunate. Bop, bop, bop. 10 rubber per second. It's a bit better than the less than 1 that I currently have. It's just a smidge better than the less than 1 that I currently have. Do I have excess naphthalene? I'm not supposed to. So what is going on here? Okay, I can see a situation. So if I'm backed up on rubber, I can keep the system moving by overflow voiding the aromatics. Aromatics void. I never remember. In sinkholes. Aromas void in sinkholes. Okay. That explains everything. That explains a lot, actually. That explains a lot. Void all that. Now, realistically speaking... Wait, what? I miscounted? You've got to be freaking kidding me. Oh, you're joking. That needs to be... You would. Well, that's a fundamental error. Okay, put those in between every single one, get rid of this in its entirety. And do that for all 3 of these. That'll fix it. Ah, da 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 ba da da ba da ba da bum bum. Yep. That's how it's supposed to look. So now I have to delete, like, all of that. And all of that. And don't forget to do that, and that, and that, and that, and get rid of all of that. Then copy all of that. Undo. That's it. I was accidentally a tile too low. Come on. Come on, game. Alright. That fixes it. So the issue was that I had 8 feeding into a single yellow belt, but that only allows for 15 instead of 16 items per second. I had to switch it to 7. I thought it was 7 from the beginning, but no, I autopiloted and did 8 rather than 7 because, ooh, even numbers are better. Yeah, so it should be 3 on the end that are put on their own set of stacking for each of these, and this should still be 51, and everything is flowing somewhat smoothly. So I have to void the excess of all 3 of these lines. Glorious. Beautiful, wonderful stuff. Okay. 100 point whatever, 100.6. I'll just say 101 divided by 5 is effectively 20. 106 times, what's the fuel value? 5? Yeah, I have to void 505 megawatts of fuel value. Yeah. 505 megawatts of fuel value. Great. Great. Give me boilers. Alright, boilers. Boilers do 3.7. Oh god, that's a few. Okay. I'll have to reorient. Three lines of 46. Okay, maybe not here. Maybe not here. Up. Uppies. And of course, we have to deal with stacked ash as outputs. I am uncertain. I think I can get away with that. I'm uncertain, but I think that I can get away with that. I'll need to lane shift on one of these, but that is my alarm to indicate that I am halfway through the stream for the day, and I believe that I am halfway. I haven't gotten any alert to indicate that I am not actually halfway quite yet. And that's fine to have a day where we only do 3 hours instead of 4. I'm going to just place this, and then roughly halfway down, I'll do a lane swap. Oh, I'm out of pipe. Great. And boilers. Of course I am. Of course I'm out of boilers. Each of these will likely have their own separate voiding spot as well. But for now, I'm going to get up, take a brief break. I'll be back in a few minutes where I will wrap this part up and actually get into what I wanted to do today, which is the stuff for the circuits. I'll be back shortly. And I've returned. Welcome back. We need to clean up some of this stuff. Okay, so 46, that's 23. So after 23, here. I need to somehow manage to do a lane shift. Which I can do with you. Yeah, because I have Bob's inserters. So I can, that's just a thing I can do. Because I have Bob's inserters, I can just tell the inserters, oh hey, you go on the inside lane now. Yeah. That makes sense. And then of course I have to delete the ash, the stacked ash. And to that end, bonk, 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 bonk. The fuel. Mr. Cat. The Mr. Cat. Hello. Welcome back, Ollie. Welcome back, Ollie, giving me nuzzles. Giving me nuzzles. Yes, Mr. Cat, giving me nuzzles. Yes, he wants attention. He wants attention. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Poking his face in my hand. Of course, he's gonna poke his face in my hand. That times 1 and 2 more. Those are off. Those are off a tile. Now he's here. Here's Mr. Cat. My Ollie. Yes, pretty Ollie. Pretty Ollie is a pretty Ollie. Really, I don't have any down the whole line. Oh, right, because of the water. Water can't feed in. Since there are missing ones. Hi. Can I build a bunch? I can build a bunch. I can build all that I need. So just make them. Make them. Mr. Cat. Mr. Cat. You're in the way. You are in the way, Mr. Kitty Cat. Ollie. No, no. No, no, that you're being naughty. You're being annoying. I know you just want pets, but you're being annoying in the process. Okay, why did you stop? Because of too much creosote. Okay, get that voiding. Void the excess of the creosote. That will get everything moving again. And with everything moving again, that will bring additional coke down. So now I can think about, oh hey, I need that for the coke, I need that for the rubber, I need that for the creosote, I need that for the glorious gasoline, which I do hope I also void excess gasoline. And I need another... I need another station. Uh-oh. Well, there you go. Oh boy, that's a problem, because I do need a way out that won't be blocked. Okay. That'll do. That'll do. Yes, Mr. Cat. Down at my legs now. After meowing a couple times. Coke 2. Rubber bubber. Gasoline. Don't you dare. SD full cargo circuit condition go. Define under coke, add coke 2 under creosote, add creosote 2, add gas, and add rubber. Rubber bubber. Okay, got the rubber bubber. And the creosote's already being used. Oh yeah, I need pipe. Frick. That will necessitate a full restock. But now these will start at least like burning extra. As our throughput will be limited until I can delete all of the extra coke getting produced out of that. Alright then, off we go back to the mall for a restock. And then we shall return. And that was a build, huh? That was definitely a build. That was most definitely a build. Oh boy, that took little over half the stream here. Build that I originally was not necessarily intending on doing today together, but oh well, it is up to 10 coke as long as I have the required tar to keep feeding it perpetually, which I do not, but whatever. Now we get to think about, okay, circuit stuff. Basic circuit stuff. Oh boy. I'm going to mostly ignore the numbers that I need for these things because I know that I need more of everything than what I have listed here. Okay, it's probably going to be in my best interest to start with the basics, such as Moondrop and getting Moondrop at some semblance of scale. I think with Moondrop, I am going to probably want to provide both the Moondrop as well as Moondrop as seats. Potentially. In this instance, I just need the methane, so I may as well make the methane with the Moondrop seats local to where I do the thing. In which case, the methane is a build. So we have one alternative. At the moment, and that would be to do BTX plus Nextlet, but no, not gonna happen. So for 1,000, it would be something that looks a little bit like that. That's a few greenhouses. We're gonna do 100. And that will be the methane build. Yeah, that will be the methane build right there. That is the methane. Just add water. Do I even have a different build? Like, hold up. Do I even have another build that makes Moondrop, like another recipe that makes the Moondrop? I don't even have the better, like, hydrogen soil recipe at the moment. I could research it, and that would give me access to that. It would also give me access to a fertilizer methane. I really don't think that's going to be worth doing at this point in time. Basically, fertilizer, I do have the better recipe for it. The ash biomass urea seaweed. This is the best fertilizer recipe. I should very much consider doing that. Goodness. But I need the manure first. So the rest of the stream, we're going to be setting up Moondrop, then manure, and going from there with the various different bits and pieces for circuits. Get the, I want ceramics separated, provided separately as well, which that's going to need clay for the ceramics. Oh goodness, I did not end up getting very many pipes. Weird. I have them. Well, speaking of which, hello. Enjoy fuel. I wish I could, like, actually reach and pick up stuff from boxes from across the map as long as I had vision, but that's just not a thing that can be done. Unfortunately, it cannot be done. It is literally impossible. Devs made sure of that. used to be possible theoretically, or there used to be a way to access chests remotely, but nah, can't pick up stuff from chests if you're too far away. There is a limit to how far you can be, unfortunately. No far reach mod can let you actually just pick up stuff from chests from infinite distance. Now, you can build from far away. Oddly enough, that's a thing. You can place things from basically infinitely far away, but as long as you have vision. But in terms of like being able to pick stuff up, no, we can't have that. We can't have you being able to pick stuff up from infinitely far away. Putting stuff down is fine, but picking stuff up, no. That's cheating. Grab all. I will take all of my pipe. Thanks. Okay. This build, I should have enough things. Oh, you... that's not the recipe. I needed this one. By the way, if you're still here, or Kikmo, the way that I would handle the offshore pump stuff to disable the creation of the Omni water would be to simply just mod the mod and comment the code. Comment that line of code out so that it doesn't switch the output from offshore pumps from water to Omnic water. It would just be to comment out that line of code, that single line of code, to make it not function. Just one little edit of like 2 characters added to that mod will completely disable that piece of functionality. But that is modding the mod. Boogers. And I see no reason, even like from a licensing standpoint, why one wouldn't be able to make a separate mod that does essentially the same thing but switches Omnic to water. I see no reason why that cannot be done, because there is nothing creatively unique about that function. And especially when it's already using aspects that are straight from the Factorio API, and not necessarily something that's specifically theirs. Like, that line of code is not something I think gets protected by copyright. Honestly speaking, anything that's purely functional shouldn't be protected by copyright in that way. If it's one thing if you're trying to copy the whole thing and try to redistribute the whole thing yourself, that's clearly not right, but... And if you're like taking the whole thing and you're modifying it by doing more stuff to it than just this little one-line edit, then nah, no. But I don't see that particular single line that I don't see it there being a particularly strong argument of it being protected by any license. Not from a copyright standpoint, no. But that is just me not being a lawyer. Just my own experience watching a lot of content from actual copyright lawyers on various subjects. I mean, there's a fascinating argument we could have about, well, not really argument, but there's a fascinating discussion to have about, you know, like my 3D print stuff here, these things that are behind me. Like, I sell prints of these things. I made these things. I designed these things. How much of a copyright do I actually own of this holder, as an example? How much of a copyright do I actually have to it? I mean, I very specifically have a copyright to the exact reproduction of this particular item. But if someone were to have something like this, I can't claim all things related to this function. I can only claim my very specific, very specific creation, which very specifically has very specific features to it. On the inside, there's like there's cutouts in between, and each section in the middle has a raised section that's filleted. Pretty sure that's filleted, whatever. Like, it's very specific combination of features. That is what I actually have copyright to. It's a very specific set of features of the product, and not necessarily, it's not the function of the product, it's the specific implementation. And even then, some of the things that are part of that, some of the specific features that are part of that, are also functional in nature and not creative in nature, and that makes things like the actual copyright to the thing weaker. So it's only really the very specific combination of things together that gets the copyright. I mean, not even the color. Like, I don't get much on my very functional items that I advertise as functional. Anyway, let's get going with this. I probably need to grab more actual, like, Moondrop. As Moondrop. Well, I guess I'm not expanding that outwards by putting this here. Oh well. By the way, I sell 3D prints of stuff, of displays for video games, and like generic bulk holders for video games. I've got links in my description below my videos to my eBay and my and my Etsy pages, where I have listings for these things, where you can buy prints of these things. And what I can say about each of these things is that I did make them. I made the models for them by hand myself. No licensing other folks' stuff. I made all the files myself, printed the files myself, did the prototyping myself, did initial prints of the things myself to figure out, oh hey, you made this mistake here, fix it. Went through loads of plastic to figure things out when making my stuff, figuring out what settings I need for printing the things with my 3D printer. I did all that effort, all myself. These things are mine, and I have them for sale. Why did I hook that up to that? I don't know. 53. I think is prime. And if it's not, then it's still annoying, because it's probably divisible by a prime, which also is still too big of a number for me to really want to deal with. Boogers. Yeah. We'll do 4 lines of 14. Of course. Okay. Trim those lines. So hopefully by the time that I need more stuff, more methane, I won't have to scale it as I have here. I will ideally not have to do methane through Moondrop forever. Because while methane from Moondrop is okay, it doesn't particularly scale too well. So if I can avoid it through something a little bit more convenient, I will. But we might just be stuck with this forever. Definitely won't really be able to scale it here, outside of like mark level to buildings with mark level to Moondrop. Ah, the fun part. Okay. Moondrop. Seats. Okay. Mechanicals will work fine. And we need to kick the process off. There you have it. This is going to net out extra seeds, which gets spent in these guys. 38 of these guys. Oh, boy. 38. We'll do 39. Yeah. Right, I do shenanigans. Oh. I do some amount of shenanigans here. By having that, so that way I only have this one feeder line, and this will scale down like that. Very, 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 very easy. Very, 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 very easy. I'm pretty sure that I did do that. Yes, okay. Everything has water. Everything shall have its water. I will do this line. That'll take a while. That'll take a while to scale. Ugh, yikes. 13. I don't like that it extends over that. Oh well. Ba-ba. 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 Oh. Alright then. We'll just have extra of everything. Everything has extra. Extra inserters. It does not matter. We'll have all of the extra inserters. Sure. Why not? Grab that line. I actually had enough modules for everything. That's shocking. Hey, there's the first excess. The first extras. Coming on down. Gotta get that power going. There's power. There's methane getting made. The methane. The methane is here and will be used specifically as part of making formaldehyde. Glorious formaldehyde. Pumps. 1, 2, 3. Input. There you go. Now, realistically, what I want here is actually to have extra going into a chest for a bit. Just siphon off extra for putting it in a chest so I have Moondrop available for when I need more Moondrop. When I need more Moondrop modules. And that is, of course, only to the point where I will need Moondrop. Because I will need to have a separate build doing Moondrop as Moondrop for food for creatures, primarily. So that's that until it cycles enough times, basically. Okay. Next up. Next up, manure. You know, it would help if the microphone was connected. Don't know when that happened. Don't know when that happened. How long have we not had sound? I don't know. Just last time I moved the mic, maybe? The mic just the connector disconnected on the mic, on the bottom of the mic. You know, my brand new cable, XLR cable, that has a clip on it to try to hold on to the thing. Yeah, for whatever reason, this microphone, this Rode Procaster microphone, XLR microphone, doesn't have a clip part of it. It doesn't have a thing for the cable to clip on when you install it. So it just sits there, not able to clip in. It's weird. And is the most stupid thing. Anyway, you missed my whole thing about, oh hey, I'm limited by antimony for this special oxide. I'm limited by the shafts for the automated factories. That's my limiting factor on the automated factories, is getting shafts. Shafts are limited by the iron antimony special alloy. And the iron antimony special alloy is being limited by the antimony. That was basically the most recent line of thought. And then I also had this tangent about, oh hey, so what oxide of antimony is it again? I was like, it's SbO something. And I looked at the tooltip for antimony oxide, and it just says Sb oxide. Doesn't actually tell you what oxide it is, what the formula is for the oxide, but all we know is it's a thing. It's an oxide. Anyway, we are setting up manure next, and I am okay with manure being what it is. Here being 15, being 136 hog paddocks for the 15. And I'm only okay with it because we can get our native flora for automated factories at 1 per second. This is only okay because the native flora is just available on demand, and I don't have to move that much native flora on trains. But I really have no idea how far back I've been muted, so we've wrapped up the rubber part of this, and we have made methane. We made 100 methane per second, up to 100 methane per second. The methane is provided on a train now, and I have set up to put some extra moondrop into a box for when I need to copy this build as a separate build for a separate factory somewhere else to provide methane as food, primarily for other, like, creatures and things. It's going to take a little while for the seeds to fully back up here, to overflow all of them into here, and for this box to fill up. But once everything is filled up, this will get a whole bunch of seeds, all the seeds that it needs, and it will make 100 per second of the methane. The methane is going to be used for formaldehyde. That is the primary thing that I need it for as part of the circuit build. And now that I have requested all of the things, and I have all of the things, I need to grab all of my barrels, all of them, every last one of them, and we're going to go to an empty square and build ourselves a factory. We're gonna build ourselves a manure factory. I am pretty much just gonna copy paste the Og factory and set it to manure instead of Ogs. I think that's like the way of doing it, is just copy that. It's like half of what I need. Not quite, but close enough. And I will put it like here. And I can scale out and make adjustments that I need to make, but it's just going to be a convenience for me. Speed things up a bit. Don't have to build from scratch, just copy paste. Oh, you know, it probably unhooked when I went back here. Did we at least get this conversation about copyrighting things? I don't know, because I don't know how long I was muted from the cord coming undone. Because I had this conversation, I talked about like how much of a copyright do I actually have to some of these functional 3D prints behind me? The answer is not much. Basically, the exact implementation that I have made is what is copyrightable, but not much else about it. Variations can be made and not be violation of what I have for copyright on the things. Because they're mostly functional, it's mostly just a combination of functional aspects to my various displays that I have 3D printed back there, which I sell on eBay and Etsy. I sell prints of them. They're mine, I made them. I built the models that they're based on from scratch in FreeCAD. Looks like I need modules, huh? Well, good thing my modules are like right up here. Duh. Huh? Here. Oh. Here. Da ba ba ba. Alright, I have to go to the mall. Unfortunate, but I have to grab augs from my mall. I should have paid attention to that. Go over here. I actually have augs right here. So I've physically built out what I've built here specifically so that there is a pathway that trains can take that lead all the way around the mall now. So the whole of this path is available, and a train could theoretically get out to here and over here and down and connect here to the rest of the main area. So I could build factories in these squares now, and if I build more, I can in fact get up here now. There is access to everything. There's at least one straight path. It's not the most efficient of pathing, but the only way to improve it would be to delete this. I would need to get these lines finished, which means removing what's there. And you know, once this part is done, I could remove this. This part can actually just go at any point. It's a matter of getting rubber to the bus and down the bus, and I won't need latex at all. I think at all. because all of the latex goes to rubber and to the rubber stoppers, but I can switch the rubber stoppers to rubber alone, and if I bring rubber in, then I don't need latex here at all, so I can delete everything related to latex. Everything related to latex can go, and everything related to rubber can go, and that should free up some amount of space. This is going to take a while to clear up. This needs aluminium replaced. Oh boy, yeah, that'll take some time. That'll take quite some time. Okay, get your modules going. It's 4 each, which is quite a few. And hopefully I have left myself enough space to build 55 native flora machines. And I will have to redo these inputs a bit. Okay. Essentially, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these, I'm going to extendo the lines. And I'm going to copy. I'm gonna copy. Paste. I wanna. How many? That's 100. I need an extra 36. So I'll copy that, and that should be good. Yeah, that'll be fine. That'll be fine. It shall be okay. Everything will be alrighty. Hama hama. The question is, have I exceeded a yellow belt of input? I can do some tricksy things, actually, with this. Basically, I'm actually limited to a lane, 7.5 each on whatever line is the shared line. But because this is only going to have 3 items in, I can make the native flora its own line, and I think that resolves all issues. I hope that resolves all issues. How many? Ooh, 1, 2, 3. Ooh, 54.5 divided by 3 is 18. Ugh. That's an issue. That's an issue. If I want to run the line 28. Oh, 7? So that would be 14. That would be 28. Where are we getting 54 from? Oh, it's the different recipe. Different recipes are different, buddy. Hey. Yeah, that's that. That right there is the problem. Because this number is greater than 7.5. I would need to add another section, another line, or do something incredibly dumb and run 2 lines until I run out of 15 and run the rest down the line. I would need to add 3 more lines. I would need to add 3 more lines. Oh, that's not happening. So, yeah, I think I am going to, in fact, add a second line. That will be for native flora. And then that will, basically, after 18... I'll just set all these recipes now. So basically after 18 on the line here, I'll just terminate the one line and bring the second one in to feed the rest of the line. And that will be that. Dang. So of course I should have done this on the other side. Boogers. 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 I need to do this up here, but that's it. That's all I need to do it for. The rest are fine. The other one up top is fine. It's just this line needs that too. Oh, but this time it will actually be done correctly. Let's actually build everything first. Place everything. Why you no power? Probably because I didn't actually connect. I connected. Oh. Bah. 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 Now you power. Now you can has power. So the issue was that it was 0.4 native flora, and when mechanical inserters are set to long, they have half the throughput that they usually do, and when the normal throughput is 0.6, Half of that is 0.3, which is a little bit more than 0.4. So if I only have the one long-headed inserter from the, or for the line that's needing native flora, well, that's not enough. And the way that I had set it up is that there was only one long-headed inserter feeding in to these machines on the bottom, which means that the total throughput needs to be less than 0.3. Realistically speaking, it needs to be less than 0.15 if an item has 2 lines. I'm just making this worse for myself by building it this way. By placing this line here, and when I know full well that I need to actually add that, in which case then it doesn't matter anymore. And it doesn't matter anymore which is which. And yeah, it needs that on the whole thing. Across the board. So, including these. The alternative is to use powered inserters, but as you can probably see, yeah, I don't have power run down these sections. And yes, I need to do this. It is required for the top as well. Okay, finish up this building. I could only imagine how much longer this would have taken had I needed to build this from scratch. Alright, all this will change. All this will change, unfortunately. Ugh. Yeah. So there's also more than a yellow belt of moss that needs to get fed into all this, and it's gonna require creative unstacking, basically, of various things. Of all the things. So, yeah. Yeah, about that. About that, say. About that, say, yeah. So basically it'll have to look something like that
for all the things. Which it sort of already was like that for all the things, but apparently not running on that line. I'm gonna move that output line. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Fortunately, we're not dealing with over 75 moss or native flora per second, so we can do that quite easily. Now, the moss situation. Of course. It would have been better to just be a tile off. Would have been better to just be a tile different. Moss in. Oh boy. Give me a depot. Six of this monstrosity. Enjoy your water. Alright, empty barrels. Get to barreling. Oh boy. So that's operating normally. And then 55. Should have had the power poles, but bleh. There. Enjoy your power poles. Now to actually connect them, that would be great. That would be pretty awesome. There we go. Enjoy the power. Huzzah! Manure! We has the manure. It's moving. It's actually moving. Okay, now I need to combine everything up. All of the outputs of the manure. And I have to decide, do I want it stacked? I think the answer is going to be no. Nah, don't bother. Okay. Manure. It just looks weird because it's actually, it's like for whatever reason these outputs are preferring the bottom line. So even though yes, the bottom line is like hitching, backing up, it's still the 11 per second because it's 7.5 plus the top line, the amount from the top line. So it's all given me everything. It's just I need this to back up. Need to wait for stuff to get down the line and actually start backing up. I need yeah, I need more moss. I probably need additional locomotives moving moss. Because I have the production of the moss. I have 75 moss per second being produced. It's just getting enough trains online to move it where it needs to go. That's the only problem. And that's the unfortunate part of having only 1-1 trains. I just, by the nature of the 1-1 trains, need more of them for these specific things that have very high throughput. Like moss. Moss is very high throughput, and some of the ores that I have as ores online, those are also very high throughput. I'll try to avoid it where possible, but when it's a build that's this large for every 15, I really didn't feel like copying this to get 30 to tack onto this. Like, that adds so much to this build. I just was gonna bring it in myself. Bring it all in. Bring it all in. Okay, next. For our last 10 minutes. Yeah. We have manure, which means we have access to urea via liquid manure, but we don't have the petri dishes for that. Yep, that's a problem. Yeah, so we'll have to, like, set this much lower. I think 3 is going to be fair. I have the buildings to do it, so we'll do it. I have this for quartz ore. I will need 15 quartz ore. I don't theoretically have 15 available ore. I have 5. No, I have like 8.6, whatever. I have 8.6 available, so I would also need to scale this up a bit, but I don't need for the full 15 glass right now, so I'm just going to build this factory and not worry about the actual infrastructure to make the quartz as part of it. I do need all the other stuff, but I won't worry about the quartz ore part of it. Now this I'm doing because I need petri dishes for Zogna, and I need Zogna for urea from liquid manure. Now, there is a concept of getting urea from not Zogna, but that is going to be a lot of blood. That is going to be a lot of blood. And yeah, it's not really a ton of Zogna that I need. It's not really a ton of these petri dishes that I need for the... or empty petri dishes for Zogna. It's not a ton, but it's existent, so... supply... empty petri... Guess I should define the manure, huh? Since I went out of my way to make so much of it. quartz ore. Not that. That one. Oh. I guess I need to restock, huh? And by restock, I mean I probably don't have any sitting in an accessible like logistics place, so I have to grab it from warehouses that I have, where I have a lot stored. And I can copy paste like most of the molten glass stuff for this. Yeah, just give me all of that. That was 10k all by itself. There's more. While I'm here, I may as well put in the request for rubber at the mall, since it's such a limiting thing. What? Why you know? Why you know have thing? Interesting. Here's rubber. Here's the rubber that my base has desperately needed. And my logistics bots immediately are at 0 of 825. Yeah. Yeah, I have 825 logistics bots. All of them have jobs to fill. And this is now sitting at 102 being picked up of the 400 something that's here, and I'm sure it would max out if I actually had enough logistics bots for it. Alright, back we go. Down to there. So I need 15 pure sand. 4, 8, 12, 16. So that's pure sand, by the way. I did do this between streams just so that we're aware, and it needs pure sand. 5 to 4 is the ratio of sand to pure sand. It's 1 to 1 on the buildings. I just took my existing sand build that makes 5 and modified it to produce pure sand rather than just sand. Yeah, that's it. That's all. Just it's 4 each. 4 for each section, and that's what I needed for making 15 glass from molten glass through hot air casting of it. The quartz gets jaw crushed, the crushed quartz gets powdered, and the powder gets thrown into the machine to get melted in the glassworks building. Why, oh why someone wanted to have a separate building to deal with glass, I do not know. But someone literally paid for it. Someone actually paid Pyandon money for the glassworks building to exist. It was commissioned. And now everyone has to deal with it. Until the end of time. Power? Come on. So this makes 16, but whatever. Close enough. That covers all that aspect. So then I can copy the 3 here all the way down. Hello. Welcome. You made it to the end of the stream. This is like the very end. The very end. You made it for like I have to end the stream like now. Since we're not streaming the extra hour today, unfortunately, but hey, that's how it is sometimes. Can't have it every time, else it wouldn't be an incentive, now would it? Oh, speaking of wood, I'll finish this build, and that'll be that. For empty petri dishes. That's what we're doing right now. We set up rubber, and we set up manure. And now we're getting empty petri dishes. No, it's fine. It is all optional. That's why it's incentive. It's not required. Will never be required. Okay, I think that's all I need. 6. Copy the 6 of you. Don't need that. Ah, yes, I need to import, still need to import something else. Need to import the acetylene. Need acetylene, acetylene. Acetylene. And hot air. Can't forget that either. I'll need to scale my hot air. If I used everything that I have, I would need more. I have insufficient maximum production on hot air. Alright, and then 5 of this. Acetylene, hot air, and that's that. That is a bit of empty petri dishes, if few. And I can say with certainty that these are required to get into the basic circuits. These are part of the process of getting into basic circuits. I know I spent like half the stream today doing rubber, which was not actually directly involved in making circuits. It's still required so that I don't completely run out of belt, and so that I can actually build infrastructure that I need. But yeah, it wasn't actually directly related to the thing that I really wanted to do today, which was work on circuits. But that's just the way of things sometimes. SD, full cargo, circuit condition. So really all we really got and for that towards circuits was setting up methane, setting up manure in my glorious, beautiful manure factory that is taking its sweet ass time to hit proper throughput. Need to bring in moss faster for that, but yeah, 15 per second up to if it had the moss throughput. And then, yeah, what we just did here with the empty petri dishes, empty petri and manure related to each other to get into urea. All that is needed to get into melamine. I plan on doing melamine processing and melamine resin processing for Formica for my circuits, for my PCB ones for circuits. Yeah, this will be Formica from melamine resin and fiberboard, and that's going to need Kickalc. I'll need to get Kickalc online still, but now that I have this stuff, I have what I need to get into formaldehyde from methane, and I have what I need in order to get into melamine. And I have what I need to get like Zogna for urea, for ammonia, and for cyanic. I will need antimony. Oxide at some degree of scale for batteries. I think next time we're going to work on batteries. I also need the zinc online for the batteries. So next time we meet, it will be batteries towards circuits, and as much as we can to get the actual circuits. But yeah, need the batteries first as batteries. Might not be 0.25, might be 1. Try to get 1 or more of battery, but we'll see ultimately what I decide on that front. It'll need melamine first, and it will need antimony processing and zinc processing, and getting antimony ore and getting zinc ore. This is going to be the problem. This is going to be a problem. Yeah, that's a long time before that becomes a not problem. I will have to mine it. But anyway, with that, I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been a Otaku Show, but if you've enjoyed today's stream, please be sure to do all of the social and engagement stuff down below the video. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you have not yet subscribed, and hit the notification bell. Consider becoming a member of the channel by hitting the great big blue join button and supporting on Patreon at patreon.com/otakushowboat if you are so inclined and able. I will be back with more on Sunday. I hope to see you all then.